Greetings. Now we're moving on to the online partner relationship and how that works. We might say, like, why do we even need to know this? I am a person who really likes context. I want to know how everything fits. And you'll hear so much language about 2U, which is the name of the partner that we work with, that I want you to kind of understand what the student's life is like working in an online program who has a partner. And then, just basically so all the puzzle pieces fit together for you. So this handout, this field liaison flow chart, you will either get, you've maybe already seen it, or you will get it at our December meeting. I'm making this video before the December meeting, but you can always go back to it and reference it in case you forget what I said in the meeting. And this way, this will be a good refresher. So I'm just going to go over what I did in the meeting, maybe a little bit longer on this video since I have the chance and I'm not rushed by time constraints. So when students apply for our program, they choose which degree plan they want to be in. So if they're in advanced standing, like I said in the other video, they can be 2, 3, or 5 term. And if they are regular, they can be 4, 6, or 8 term. 4 term working full-time is very hard. A lot of our students are working part-time or full-time, and we really try to message clearly that a 4-term full-time program with a full-time job is very, very hard to do. So they choose, and then they will go through the admissions process with an admissions counselor who's more like a mentor who helps them with their classes and registration, helps them choose the correct or the best program sequence, like which term they want to go in. And then depending on their term selection, we get them at field. And so I don't interface really much with students who are not close to field unless I teach them in one of my classes, which I am teaching. So when they're approaching their field term, they become engaged with our placement team. The head of that placement team is Maggie Gaylord, and then under her, the placement specialist, Sonia Shapiro and Kim Cure. Students will go through an interview with either Sonia or Kim. They will talk about things like what I want to do in a placement, what my career goals are there any placements that are triggering for me? Do I have any special needs that I need to make sure the placement can address? Am I working full time? And that's when Sonia or Kim will say, remember that our placements have to be within 8 to 5 5 p.m. business hours. And we want to make sure students are very aware of that because evening, weekend placements are very limited, and we place people based on that 8 to 5 rule. So this is a huge commitment for students. I mean, they've got to figure out, if they have to keep health insurance, they've got to figure that out. Are they going to have to go part-time? All these things, because the MSW is a professional degree and has 2 internships, it's a huge commitment. So once they go through that placement interview, Kim and Sonia will look for placements within their area. Students can give what we call referrals, which means I have a relationship with an agency here and I want to work there, so I'm going to tell Sonia and Kim about it. That is not a guarantee that they will get it. And then if they don't have a referral, then Sonia and Kim will give them a place that will accept interns, and they will send them on an interview. Of course, sometimes this process does not go as smoothly as I'm describing it, but we do work really hard to get in their geography and make this as doable as possible. Once they get accepted from the interview, they are good to go. All that happens before you're a part of it. But once the liaison is assigned in whatever term field is starting, the placement team's job is seen as completed. And so then they become our responsibility, you and I and the field team on this end of things. And we start the placement process, and you teach the class and I support you. So that is a brief overview of sort of the online partner's job. They get them interviewed, ready, and placed, and then we take over. Any issues in placement are our responsibility. Now, if they do need to be replaced, then it goes back to the placement team, but we work very closely with them based on the issues that arose for that placement to have to be terminated in the first place. So that's where I'm going to stop for this video. That gives you an idea of 2U and how they play a part. Just remember, there's many departments. Our main concern is and you don't even have to interface really with the placement team, but there are many different departments. One other thing I'll mention that I just remembered is we have a placement portal for the learning contract and the midterm. That is another 2U partnership, another set of people that we interface with, and that email address is on your spreadsheet so that you are able to ask questions when you need to. And that's going to be another video. So I'm going to stop there with the placement portal, and that is an overview of our online partner.